to reacquire the impression by placing a fabricated abutment in the mouse to compensate for the error. Now we will compare compensation method using the model above. The first method is to reacquire the impression by placing a fabricated abutment in the mouse to compensate for the error. In this experiment, the abutment was attached to model number 1 and a table scan was performed on behalf of the patient. We compare the design file with the actual fabricated abutment. It was found that the abutment machining error was over 200 micrometer laterally. The second method is to compensate for the error by attaching the abutment to the plaster model. In this experiment, we connected the abutment to model number 2 and scanned it. This is a comparison between model number 1 and model number 2. You can see the orange color indicating 80 micrometer error in the abutment. This is the same result as the previous scan body comparison. The third compensation method uses a 3D printing model as an alternative to the lack of impression obtained by an intraoral scanner. The dark red and blue colors representing over 200 micrometers are observed in the abutment. The error in the model itself is also large, so it is not advisable to use it in a large model like this. Let's compare the error just in the abutment area. The plaster model has an error of about 80 micrometer. The 3D printing model shows an error of over 200 micrometer. In the end, the best solution is to get additional intraoral scans or impression in the patient mouth. It seems that the plaster model with a generous inner gap of about 100 micrometer or dividing the prosthesis into several parts to reduce the number of abutments and the length of the prosthesis, and staggering the fabrication would have achieved a more perfect fabrication. It is difficult to find a reason to use a 3D printing model. I will show you how to do an intraoral scan effectively. When scans or impressions are taken after an abutment has been placed intraorally using a two-stage method, the subgingival margin can be difficult to reproduce. This can be solved by aligning the pre-scanned abutment to the scan file and substituting it. This method is automated in the Medit scan software. Finally, we'd like to introduce a new compensation method. Honestly, it's so simple that I was embarrassed to introduce only this, so I did the before experiment to fill the time. Prepare a jig by planting a lab analog into a mold of a certain shape. Attach a scan body to this jig to scan and save it. Every time I machine an abutment, I connect it to the jig, scan it, align it with the jig, and prepare the complex. On the left is a video of an intraoral scan with the jig held by hand. The video on the right shows the jig on the turntable, which makes it easier to scan. Of course, you can also scan with a table scanner. The table scanner is useful for doing multiple scans at the same time. Combine the two files using either automatic alignment or alignment based on the jig. Align the scan body of the combined complex to the scan body of the model, and the machined abutment will be aligned accordingly. If you erase the scan body of the model and merge it with the abutment, you will have a virtual compensated model. Here's a comparison of the reference model and the compensated model using the jig. Note that the abutment is colored mostly green. This means an error range of 40 micrometers or less. Let's compare it with the previous method. You can see the smallest error in the compensation method using the jig. Since you don't have to create a model, you can save time and money. Furthermore, by automating this process, it is expected that AI abutment matching shown earlier will be implemented without the patient visiting the clinic. Let's wrap up today's lesson. Custom abutment machining errors can be reduced but not eliminated. Therefore, proper compensation must be made. Such compensation is clinically acceptable for the traditional plaster models, but not for 3D printing models. The compensation method we introduced today utilizing a jig is the most accurate and efficient method that does not require a patient visit.